Backstage Pass, always busy on a two-show day. Our thanks to Ryan Larkins for joining us there on the Backstage Pass. Again, thanks to KKTC True Country 99.9 and our friends at HighTideCountry.net, and always powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com. Of course, next week, Nashville, Tennessee, the Omni Hotel, where it goes down Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then, of course, during the nighttime, we're going to be at the Doghouse Saloon, world famous, broadcasting live Wednesday night, Thursday night, and the Wild Beaver Saloon on Friday, March the 1st. So a lot of cool things happening here for us at the Backstage Pass. And speaking of cool things, he's one of my show favorites. He talks music, sports. He talks about anything when he comes on, too. We've had him before. The one, the only, Cory Marks to the Backstage Pass. What's up, brother?
What's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? Good to see you again.
Good to see you, brother. It's been a minute or two since we had chatted, right?
It's been actually, I think, yeah, it's been probably a couple of years now, right?
At least since Outlaws and Outsiders too, when it came out too, a big song for you too. Well, I guess catch me up to date. You guys are currently on a big tour going on. Talk about this, the response you're getting from fans, and it's wearing out that voice, right?
No, man, the voice is fine. I'm feeling really good. I'm kind of gearing up for this tour for the end of last year, just kind of prep myself for it. And it's 32 shows. 32 dates coast to coast across Canada. It's called the Liquored Up Tour. And I'm out with my good buddies, Matt Lang. He's a Quebec artist, but looking to grow. And he's kind of bringing back that 90s country vibe. Really great dude. And then, of course, the Canadian legend, Mr. Aaron Pritchett. This is my second tour with him. I crossed Canada with him in 2015 on the Outlaws and Outsiders tour. And that's ultimately how I started writing the song, because of that tour. So it's 32 dates coast to coast. We're on show 20 tonight.
Wow.
We're back to the string of shows. We were actually, we had a day off, not yesterday, but the day before, but we did 13 in a row.
That's crazy,
so that was pretty, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now we're doing another 5 in a row before our next day off. So it's pretty crazy. We've been out on the road for, I think, 26 days now, and then we're on show number 20. So it's pretty crazy.
A little bit of JD right there too at the same time, keeping that voice strong. And of course, you mentioned on the bus and around a lot of people too, fighting all that allergy stuff right now too, which is great. Hey, let's build on that too, because it's been a while. And for the listeners out there, the new market in Taos and up into Colorado for me out there, KKTC True Country, Outlaws and Outsiders. You work with some great, Mick Mars, Travis Tritt, Ivan Moody. The song was fantastic when you guys have put it out, and I've said that probably a dozen times over the last couple of years since we did talk. But man, what a project, what a song to really just hit somebody in the gut and go like, this is the way country music has gone, this movement now, and the blend of what you guys did in the studio and the production and, man, the instrumentation, just update people on just what that did for your career and just how it just uplifted you and was a huge success.
Yeah, the crazy thing is Outlaws and Outsiders is still growing. I was actually just talking to Travis Tritt today, and I was talking to Mick yesterday, just catching up with those guys, and it's amazing. Not only on the professional level, career wise, but on my personal level. These guys they've been so great to me over the years since the song, and of course, even last August, Ivan hooked me up with some tickets to go see him and Metallica in August, and I got to see him again, and I've been keeping in touch with those guys. But it's been an insane ride since Outlaws and Outsiders. It's really changed my life and career in the best way possible. Obviously, COVID kind of messed that up and slowed things down, but I think we're on the up now, and it's now platinum in Canada and officially U.S. gold. So those are two huge huge moments for me and milestones, of course. So to have a platinum record here in Canada and a U.S. gold is very, very special to me, and I'm just really thankful for not only those guys, Mick, Travis, and Ivan, but of course my co-writers Kevin and Kane Churko, and producers, and but just the fans, the people connecting with the song and still just streaming the hell out of it and sharing it, and still getting radio play too. So that just means the world to me, to have people connect with your music.
Speaking of radio play, we're going to talk about the single here in just a second, too, as well. We actually played that on KKTC this morning, too, with our call-ins and our promos and all that good stuff we did, too. Fans loved it out there, too. I want to go back to, we talked about that Outlaws and Outsiders, too, on the Who I Am record, which was fantastic, too. But some other great songs off there. Better Off was one of my favorites, too, as well. Let's build on that one a little bit, too. And then also My Whiskey, Your Wine.
Yeah, Better Off. During that writing process, I was, going through some stuff with with an X, of course, and then it's hard on the heart, but it's that's a line I could use. It's hard on the heart, but good for the hand or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it allows me. That's one good thing I could say about heartbreak is and pain. Obviously, it helps artists write, and that's certainly what it did for me. So. I always joke around with my buddies saying that even though she messed me up and broke my heart, I could still thank her because the album was such a great success. But Better Off is pretty. It's all pretty. I try to make it. When I'm writing these songs, try to make it so it's pretty evident to what I'm talking about, and I really try to relate to people because, as you know, from whether you're high school or in your 20s or 30s or 50s or 60s. That kind of stuff happens, love, heartache, and heartbreak, and all that good stuff. So, that song to me, it really resonated with people a lot. Like a lot of people, even now, I still see some YouTube things like, comments on like this shitty relationship they're in or whatever. And like, this is my song, and just totally relating to what I've been writing. And My Whiskey Your Wine is one of those songs. I mean, I grew up on Merle Haggard, and he's he's one of my favorites of all times, and definitely my favorite in the country world. And I just love that guy, love that man and his music and what he's done for country music. But that's kind of a bit of an homage to him, and his style of writing. Again, I was just kind of thinking and started plugging away at this guitar, and I wrote that song. That's one of those songs where it just kind of came straight from the heart, and I wrote it maybe 20 minutes, and I just did an iPhone recording and sent it over to my producer, Kevin, at the time, in the midst of making this record. And he said, man, this is great. We'll cut it tomorrow. And so we did. And that's what you have, My Whiskey Your Wine.
I loved it. Good stuff right there, too. And I wanted to ask you about, of course, Better Noise Music, the label there, too, that you're currently with now. How's that relationship been, too? Because they have a lot of just great artists. I mean, Bad Wolves is on that label, too, at the same time. Bleecker. And so many great rock bands too. What's that relationship been like for you ever since the move over?
It's been great. I mean, the cool thing about being on the label with bands like Hell Yeah, Five Finger Death Punch, Papa Roach, Motley Crue, and the ones that you mentioned like Bad Wolves. I'm the only country artist on that roster. So it's a true honor to have them have faith in me, my music, and what I do and what I'm about, and take me to that next level where I want to be. So they've been, obviously they crushed it with the first record, Who I Am, and we're gearing up for album number 2 here. And I hope it's the exact same, if not better, than the first one.
I want to ask you about this female movement that's going on right now too in country, because I mean, again, males are still doing well too at the same time. And congratulations on all your great success with the platinum and of course the gold album in the U.S. too. But on fire, this girl Lainey Wilson, holy crap! I mean, coming out of nowhere too over the last few years, the stuff in Yellowstone, and of course winning a Grammy and now People's Choice Award. Give me some kind of feedback on this female movement and how good this is for country music too.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm keeping this long hair, man. Maybe I'll get a shot at some of Lainey's success. I mean, I think it's great, man. I think it goes both sides. I mean, there's if it's good, it's good, and that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple, and she's got a great voice, and she's doing some great things. So it's great to see, and I'm very happy for her. And who knows, maybe there's a Cory Marks and Lainey Wilson collaboration down the road. I think it'd be pretty special.
That would be pretty special, no doubt about it, too. Tell you what else is special. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to resume the conversation here with Cory Marks on the show coming up here in a little bit. But, of course, got to pay some bills, as we all know. To pay those bills with the spots here, too. We'll come back talk about the latest single that we played this morning, too, as well. But if you guys are looking for some jewelry out there, if you're looking for that perfect gift for your spouse, friend, family member, Jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. You can email burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order, BUEHRLE system@yahoo.com. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's jewelry by Tommy. Quick timeout for other sponsors. More with Cory Marks coming back, talking about the single and a whole lot more. It is the Backstage Pass, KKTC, True Country 99.9, and powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. More to come here with Cory Marks. Stay tuned.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy emergency income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Bangtail Pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
The Caden Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thecadengordonshow.com. Again, that is thecadengordonshow.com.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here with Cory Marks on the Backstage Pass. He'll come back here in just a second too as well, talking a lot about music and, of course, all the great albums out there. We just finished talking about Who I Am. And, of course, Nashville Nights is the current album out there across all the streaming platforms. The current single is A Different Kind of Year from Cory Marks out there. They're on tour. Be sure and check them out, too, at the websites. Of course, one of the best on Better Noise music out there, too. We'll get Cory back on here and reconnect with him here in just a second, too. I want to tell you guys we'll be in Nashville, Tennessee coming up next week there. Wednesday, Thursday night, the Doghouse Saloon from 6 to 10, of course, broadcasted live, myself and Alan Price. And then on Friday, the Wild Beaver Saloon will be there, too, as well. Friday, March the 1st, and, of course, be out there at the Wild Beaver Saloon from 6 to 10. A big thing going on out there, too, as well. We'll announce over the next few days. And, of course, we'll be at the Omni Hotel the 28th to 29th. And March the 1st with coverage beginning next week on Wednesday morning, February 28th, with some great interviews there. Cory will be back here in just a second. On the screen, we're having some video problems here, getting him on the screen here. We'll see if we can get him back here. Again, Cory Marks. Cory, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay. Can't see you on the screen there, too, as well, but we'll definitely continue the audio side of it here in just a second. Not sure what happened with the blackout there on the screen, but we'll get you back here in just a second. Hey, I wanted to ask you about – there it is. We got you back.
Hey, I opened and closed it again.
It's all good. I want to ask you about A Different Kind of Year. We played it this morning, too, and kind of get the lowdown on this great single. I thought it was, again, you brought the energy. You guys brought the feel. You brought the Cory Marks style of music that I've always liked. Talk about this project.
This song is it's a special song. We wrote this kind of during the pandemic. It's February 2021 up in Mount Charleston, Nevada. Kevin had a cabin there, and working on this brand new record. This is one of those songs that really stuck. We're just kind of talking about, that was during that crazy time where you couldn't even go see mom and dad at Christmas and stuff. We're kind of reminiscing on that now that had passed. And, I think, it might have been Kevin, I forget, but one of us just said, hey man, I'm ready for a different kind of year, to get things back together. And long story short, we wrote this song, and the song's really just about not taking those things for granted, and really, taking advantage of those times with your loved ones, your mom and your dad, your friends, your family, your barbecues, your gatherings, whatever it is, garage beers or fires in the backyard and just listening to tunes. And it's really just trying to make an outlook on life. And it's a country song for country people that I hope it puts a smile on their face and makes them feel good and positive. And really releasing this at the beginning of a new year is a bit of a pun there, but it's really just meant to make you feel good and make you look forward to the new year and set goals and try to achieve those goals and those things that you really want in life or in that year itself. And that's really what the song's about, a different kind of year.
I love it too. Great. Across all the streaming platforms. Make sure you guys go check it out if you have not already. I wanted to ask you about, of course, the previous album too, August 2021. During that time of the pandemic, Nashville Nights comes out, and Me I Trust. I love that song too from everything. Of course, Outlaws, Outsiders. Another great project to build on from the first album. Talk about this one. It did real well for you too. A lot of great songs on that one too as well for Nashville Nights.
You. Yeah, thank you, man. It's just, we just wanted to keep the music rolling, keep the ball rolling, and give the fans and the people, some just more music in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's also another EP that came out not long after that was I Rise, and that's kind of a bit of the more of the rock side of Cory Marks. And I was going on tour with Five Finger Death Punch and Brantley Gilbert, so we had to amp some shit up a little bit, you know what I mean? And there's some heavier stuff on there, the heavier side and the rock side, leading even into a little bit of metal. And it's just really just a bunch of music that I love and that I care for, whether it's on an album or seeing it live. It's just given that rock energy or metal energy, if you will. And it's been a fun few projects until we're building up to this next record.
No doubt. And talk about that too. I know there's not a release date for it, but man, I'm ready. The single's any indication of how good the next one's going to be. We're going to be talking again too as well with this next project. I'm ready for it. The fans I talk to, they're ready for it too as well. Tell us all about this, what you can, I guess, on this next project.
Well, I'm ready for it too, man. It's been a project I've been working on for three years, and I think this is my best body of work yet, or some of it. It's something very special. It's 18 to 20 songs, anywhere from. It really is a mix of Merle Haggard, Eric Church, Ozzy Osbourne, a little bit of Pantera. It's really a mix of everything. It's, like I said, 18 to 20 songs. It's got that country, straight up Merle Haggard type stuff to the country rock stuff that you've heard me do before, and then some of the heaviest music I've done yet. And there's a lot of very special songs on there that I'm really proud of, and I know the world's gonna love it. If they love the first record and all these EPs that come out, this thing is something so special. And actually, just before this interview, my one of my producers messaged me and said, "Hey man, we just got some mixes back." So that's the first thing I'm going to do once I get some dinner is listen to some of these mixes. And the other cool thing about this project, it has 3 producers. So there's 7 or 8 tracks with Kevin Churko on it, a longtime producer. There's a couple songs on there that have Kyle Odell, who's a big rock producer and metal guy in Nashville. And of course, Andrew Bayless. There's another 8-10 songs, actually maybe 13 with Andrew Bayless. And, he produces Brantley Gilbert and Jelly Roll. Yep. So it's really just, I think it's a very unique and very cool project. And there's nothing out there like it, especially in the country music world today.
Yeah, you mentioned that name a couple times too, and I'm gonna tell him you said hello March the 5th because Brantley Gilbert is coming right here on this Backstage Pass thing here too as well to do a little quick chat with us. A new single he put out too, so I'm gonna get definitely good vibes. Cory Marks, and say hello.
Yeah, you make sure you tell him I say hi.
Sure will, no doubt about it too as well. Hey, I loved "Blame It on the Double." Got to hear the live version too, right there too.
Had a little smell, man.
I was like, yeah.
Brantley threw a quick left. I didn't see it coming.
A quick left. Right there, the old boxing analogy. Blame It on the Double, Cory. I love this song, no doubt about it too, because of just the life, the energy, the heavy stuff right there. And I mean, just one of those kind of kick-ass type rock country songs. Man, talk about this one.
That's one of my favorite songs to play live, just because I know that the fans love it, and it's I get a little bit crazy on that stage singing that one, and I know it's very relatable. Which it's just a lot of fun, and there's a few versions of it. Of course, Tyler Conley is one of the features from Theory of a Dead Man, and the incredible Jason Hook on guitar, and from the band Flat Black and previously Five Finger Death Punch. And they're just cool cats, man, that have been so great to me over the years, and it's an honor to have them on this song and get to kick ass with them. I actually had Tyler out for our last show in Las Vegas on that tour with Five Finger and Brantley Gilbert, and that was really awesome to get to have Tyler up there singing with me in front of whatever it was, 10,000 people. It was a great time, and we certainly blamed it on the double.
No doubt about it too. We'll be having a few doubles coming up in Nashville next week. Country Radio. We're doing all the live broadcasts there. Thanks to our new sponsor coming up next week there too. We'll have some vodka, some gin, maybe a little bit of that bourbon whiskey coming up next week too. Some award-winning stuff, and definitely they're trying to get in the bars in Nashville too. And when people taste this product, I may have to send you a little sample of this too, man, because it's really good stuff too. And I can't wait to have people try this coming up next week too as well. We'll come back, talk about Devil's Grin, and do a little rapid fire as we wrap up. One more segment with Cory here. on the program. Again, thanks to our friends at hightidecountry.net and, of course, out there, KKTC True Country 99.9, playing the show 7 nights a week at 10 Mountain Time. And, of course, our friends powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. But again, if you're looking for jewelry, guys, even ladies, can't go wrong for your fellas out there too. Spouse, friend, family member, jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. Email burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's jewelry by Tommy. Quick timeout for other sponsors. Stay tuned. Final segment with Cory Marks coming up here. It is the Backstage Pass.
The Kate Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekatengordonshow.com. Again, that is thekatengordonshow.com.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here with Cory Marks on the Backstage Pass. Final segment here, too, as well. We'll do a little rapid fire and, of course, a different kind of year. The new single across all those digital streaming platforms. Make sure you guys go check it out. Of course, hightidecountry.net, KKTC True Country out in Taos, New Mexico, and up into Colorado, and our friends over the SportsGuysPodcast.com. You know, I got to ask you about Devil's Grin, my man, because fantastic song. Loved it when it came out there 2020. And, of course, it was a part of the Who I Am album. What another great song. You knocked it out of the park.
I can't hear you.
You can hear me now?
Can you hear me?
At least I can hear you. Okay, so we're
having.
All right, we'll try to get him back. Can you hear me a little bit better now? How's that?
Still nothing.
Still nothing coming on there too. We'll try to do that with the audio side of it too as well.
Oh man.
Can you hear me a little bit better? All right, how's that? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Let me try it again real quick and we'll see if we can establish connection there too as well. Is that a little bit better? Can you hear me?
Nothing.
Interesting.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir. You sure can. Yes, sir. That's weird how that's.
Too bad you can't type on the screen. I could just answer you then.
Well, that is weird how we can't hear each other too. It's definitely at the same time. Let me.
The Kate Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekatengordonshow.com. Again, that is thekatengordonshow.com.
And we're going to try the connection now. Cory Marks, see if that works.
Still nothing.
Still nothing. I can hear him. See, isn't that weird how that works too at the same time? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll try the connection. Something's got to be there too. We'll move the audio time too at the same time. He'll try to reconnect here. Again, can you hear me now? A little bit better? That's weird. Interesting. A little connection problems there too. Can you hear me?
Nothing.
Nothing there too at the same time. Well, going to try one more.
That's so strange. There's no way to log back in, is there? By chance? I guess it's live. Want to try that? Okay, I'll try that.
Do that. Again, the Doghouse will be next week, coming up next week, Wednesday, Thursday night, the 28th and 29th, coming up there from 6 to 10. Thanks to our friends at MC1 Nashville for putting it all together. Looking forward to meeting some great artists out there, too. You heard from Ryan Larkins today. Ryan may stop by. And, of course, next Friday, March the 1st, hard to believe the calendar's flipping over to March again out there, too. The Wild Beaver Saloon will be there broadcasting live, myself and Alan Price. Be there and can't wait to hear all the great stuff there at the Wild Beaver Saloon coming up next week on Friday, too. Now we connected to, I believe you can probably hear me a little bit now, which is great there. The technology, sometimes you love it, sometimes you can't stand it here. Again, thanks to our friends and all the sponsors and all the work that they do out there to put next week. Country Radio Seminar will be there at the Omni Hotel Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and, of course, the live broadcast. 2 nights at the Doghouse Saloon and 1 night at the Wild Beaver Saloon, too, as well. I want to ask you about Devil's Grin because this came out in 2020. This was fantastic. I love this particular song. And then it was on the Who On record, which was another just a great addition there, too. This one, you really knocked it out of the park. And I know this has got to be one of your most streamed and, of course, one of your favorites to sing.
Yeah, man, this is the show starter to my show. And it's really a lot of fun. It really kicks things off. It's obviously a little country. It's got and obviously a little rock, too. And I think it's just, it's just a cool upbeat kind of kick-ass song that's again, it's a lot of fun to play live, and a lot of people seem to be gravitating towards it on the streaming side. It is one of my most highly streamed song, especially on Spotify. I think it's the second to Outlaws and Outsiders. So that's really cool to have those kinds of numbers on a song like that was never released as a single, and nor is there a music video for it. So I think once again just kind of shows that people are digging that country rock sound that Kevin and I have been working on for the last few years.
Like you mentioned, there's so much talent there, too. At the same time, so many great singer-songwriters in that town. In Music City, we're going to be running into a lot of them coming up next week, too. And that's what makes this thing so special is I've never mentioned, we talked about Lainey Wilson and this female movement, but I think in general, ladies, gentlemen, everybody out there, too, the songwriters, man, God, there's so much talent in that town. And every time you go there, you meet somebody new, and it's just amazing. The ideas. I wanted to ask you about that because songwriting, it seems to me, has become more if somebody's not writing it solo, it's a collaboration. Collaboration's becoming more of a thing in the industry now, and I think it's good for the industry, right?
Yeah, I think it's. It doesn't hurt if you get 2 great writers or 4 great writers in one room, and they just happen to be artists as well. And why not collab on it together? And that's 2 minds can be better than one at sometimes. Obviously, if they're great writers, they can really help you out, and you're always learning something. And that's one thing that I like to do is, especially in the pilot world and being a pilot, it's something that you don't want to stay too dull or kind of stagnant, right? You want to keep learning and keep growing. In this sense, as a songwriter and as an artist as well. So I think that's really important.
No doubt. Let's do a couple of rapid fire things. We'll get to do this too. Favorite food you guys have had on this tour? Where have y'all gotten to eat at?
Favorite food so far on this tour? Man, there we go again.
There he goes again.
Brantley, another left hook.
Brantley left hook, yeah.
You know what? I don't even know, man. Some of these venues we've played at's actually had some pretty solid food. And we get there go again. Get some catering. But it's all been good, man. Some of those rice, like chicken rice bowls and stuff, have been really good. And in Saskatchewan, we were in Regina, Saskatchewan. And in that area, there's some really, really good pizza. Some of these home based pizza shops that are just phenomenal.
I love that too. All right, first song you ever sang when you stepped behind a microphone at any level. What song came out? It could be a cover, it could be anything. Any level of music.
The first, I think it was "Traveling Soldier" by the Dixie Chicks.
There, see, one of those great tunes out there. And I want to ask you about this because I'd be remiss if I didn't do it. But obviously, we lost a legend, a guy who changed the face of country music. 32 #1 hits, and of course, we're going to hopefully be doing a little tribute thing coming up next week for him at one of the live broadcasts there next week. At least hear some songs there too. But the loss of Toby Keith and the impact he had on you as an artist. Talk about that.
Well, I got to do all his Canadian dates back in 2016 and open for him, and got to hang out with him, and obviously both of us being huge Merle Haggard fans, that was something we connected on, and I think that's one of the things that he might have admired about me is just some Canadian kid. I was 25 years old or something like that, and just huge Merle fan. I got Mama Tried tattooed on my forearm, and Sing Me Back Home on my bicep here in memory of my grandfather, and just getting to shoot the shit and talk some stories about Merle, and getting to open up for such a country giant like Toby Keith was a true honor, and really spoke to me. When I first saw him and heard that song, just don't let the old man in. I think it's so simple but so profound all at the same time. And I actually, the night he passed, when we found out that he passed that morning, it was tough because I actually lost a couple friends on this tour as well, back at home. So it makes you think of home and your loved ones, and I got to do the "Don't Let the Old Man In" in Toby Keith's honor.
Well, amazing! Well, just a great guy and a true icon of country music. I wanted to ask you about the Super Bowl. Where were you? I know for me, I didn't really care for the outcome too because I didn't have a dog in the fight. My Arizona Cardinals weren't in the thing there through the playoffs, nor were the Dallas Cowboys too. So I got double whammy this type of year. But did you watch it? I mean, obviously, good game. Did you have a dog in the fight? If not, I guess can your team make it again next year?
No, actually, you know what? I stayed away. I thought there was too much Taylor Swift stuff going on there, so I kind of just and we're on tour, so I was just more focused on that and making sure I kick ass during my game, which is on that stage. So I was kind of more focused on that. And I can't even remember where we were during that night. So
I tell you what, though, man, like I said, at least it lived up to expectations, winning through a 25-22. So you do what you do best, kicking ass on that stage, taking names, doing all that kind of stuff. Great music, Outlaws and Outsiders, of course, Nashville Nights, all the things we talked about today, Who I Am, and, of course, a different kind of year, the one, the only Cory Marks. Hey, brother, always good to catch up with you. Go get something to eat. And, hey, we're going to do this again when the new album comes out to talk full length about it. Always appreciate you coming on, giving us some love, man.
Appreciate it, Brandon. Means a lot to me, and thank you so much for all your support, brother. And we'll be talking to you soon, I'm sure.
You got it, man. Left hook. We'll talk to Brantley Gilbert on March.
Yeah, you tell Brantley keep his eyes open. I'm coming back.
I'll sure do that. March 5th on the Backstage Pass. We'll see you guys coming up next week on Monday for a couple of episodes. Of course, we'll be in Nashville, Tennessee, coming up the 28th through March the 1st to end February and begin March. And, of course, Country Radio Seminar 2024. Thanks to the sponsors and, of course, our friends at KKTC, True Country 99.9, also hightidecountry.net, and powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. Take care. We'll see you soon